Looking to improve your fitness business while keeping your bottom line in good shape? Let the Gym Administrator help you achieve those goals. With their powerful team of fitness industry professionals at the ready, the Gym Administrator covers a wide range of industry-related products and services that will help you build your business and increase profits. The Gym Administrator works with reliable industry suppliers and vendors that place a heavy emphasis on service, just the way you remember it. Give them a call at 914-494-1066 or visit them on the web at thegymadministrator.com, as well as all social media platforms. The Gym Administrator, all your fitness needs under one roof. Scan the barcode at the bottom of the screen to get started today.
The Monty and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite four-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah.
His contributions to the history of this sport. But just like real life, there's good and bad people behind the scenes. I can't think of anyone worse, and I hate to bring him up, but I wanted to get your feelings on him. I can't think of anything worse or anyone worse than rock and roll Buck Zumhofe. What was it like when he worked for you? And what do you feel about, how do you feel about what he's done? I mean, what's your opinion on it?
Well, he's just not a very bright guy. Came from nothing, got into wrestling, let it all go to his head a little bit, big star, got a little bar going, and then got himself in a lot of trouble. And he was like that all the time. And I had a couple confrontations with him, and so did Jim. We saw him with younger girls. We said, hey, knock it off and stay away from him. And I told him one night, I almost hammered him in the locker room in Rockford, Illinois. He had done something with some young girl, and it was not good. And, Buck, unfortunately, let the business go to his head and thought he was bigger in life than what it really was, I guess. But he had a thing for young girls. Got him in trouble.
Finally, a man with moral fiber. Thank you, Mr. Gagne. Finally, someone that, standing for something and is going to say it. I know you're not close to the situation, but I really need you to weigh in. Vince McMahon's being accused of a whole bunch of issues. I don't need to go into that issues. I wanted to know what you thought about this whole situation.
Boy, you guys are on top of it, huh?
Sorry.
I'll tell you, Vince hired me, and it was more for, him, his ego, and, I didn't put the Gagnes out of business to hurt, all the bullshit. Okay. So I went to work for him, and he listened in the bookings and all that. And Vince was himself, not really what I was used to being around. But we're making a trip from New York to California. We're wrestling in LA. And we get on the private plane, and Triple H and Stephanie are in front of me. Vince is across the aisle from them. I'm right behind Stephanie. And then they had some of the producers and that in the back, and a couple of the other guys that were bookers with us were in there. And Stephanie all of a sudden turns around and he says, my dad made Hulk Hogan. I said, are you kidding me? I said, Stephanie, no, he made him. I said, he was floundering in New York. And I asked him one night, he was almost in tears. He came and he said, I can't make it in wrestling. And I said, why don't you come to the AWA and we'll take care of you there. We'll make you a wrestler. So I went back, I told Vern about Hulk Hogan. I said, God, this guy, he needs a lot of help, but he has got so much potential. So Vern said, well, get him in here. And I gave him Vern's number. And we didn't hear from him for about 3 months. And at about 2 months, my dad said, what about this Hogan guy? I said, I don't know. I gave him your number. Maybe he doesn't want to make the move, but he needs some help and he'll be really good. So all of a sudden he called about 3 months after I'd seen him. And Vern said, what should I do? Bring him in. And Vern heard him do an interview and he said, God, we got to put somebody with him. She put Johnny Valiant with him. They did some interviews and we went to Milwaukee for a card, and he walked out and the place was sold out. And he was like on the second or third match, but he walked out and he was the Johnny Valiant, who was a heel and hated in Milwaukee, but the people cheered him. And I went home and I said, Dad, this guy's not a baby face. I mean, not a heel. He's a baby face. The people went bananas over him. So Vern brought him back in, and Vern started helping him with his interviews and told him, on these comebacks, you got to just shake. So what they did is they put him in 6-man tag team matches with Jim and I, and we kind of coach him through the match. We'd be working an arm on somebody and we'd tag him out and say, twist the arm, drop the leg, grab the arm, tag out, and let him get the feel of the match and how to control the match. And he caught on real quick. And then I remember we went to the Chicago Horizon. We're wrestling Blackwell, Ray Stevens, Nick Bockwinkel, Heenan in their corner. And it's Jim and I and the Hulk. And we got in the Rosemont. The place is sold out. And he did that pose. And I told Jim, grab his T-shirt. We both grabbed from one side and tore it off real slow. And those people went. Well, I think that's the night that the light went on for Hulk. I mean, he had Stevens and Blackwell and Bockwinkel, and we were just letting him in when he had control. We gave him a big comeback at the end, and those guys were bouncing all over him. And that's when he became Hulk Hogan.
Greg, I got to ask you, I need to understand.
Well, real quick, Jimmy, before I don't mean to interrupt, sorry. But Greg.
Yeah.
Thoughts on the Vince McMahon situation?
He tried to get out of it.
He tried, but I couldn't let it go, Jimmy. Right. I need to know Mr. Gagne's opinion, please.
All right. So we had a little argument there, Stephanie and I, about the thing, and it got cooled down. We get to LA, have the matches, we get back in, and so we're sitting in the same seats, and he had an older guy, producer, in the back, and I don't know, maybe we're an hour and a half out of LA, and Vince is talking like crazy, and we're listening, and all of a sudden he takes an ice cube and he fires it back and hits this older guy right in the head with the ice cube. And the poor guy, I said, what are you doing? I said, for Christ's sake, Vince. He said, nobody sleeps on my plane. And I said, you've got to be fucking kidding me. What's wrong? Excuse me, guys.
No, you're good. No. You're good.
I said, what's wrong with you? Nobody sleeps on my plane. So he keeps talking away and we're listening to him. And all of a sudden he picks up an ice cube and he hits the guy again. This cut the guy right over the eye. And I went a little ballistic. What is wrong with you? Are you nuts? Come on. Let the guy sleep. Look at, he's an older guy. Nobody sleeps on my plane. Don't you get it? So it was shortly after that, I got the axe. So what do I think of him? He's a guy that let his ego get in the way.
So do you think there's validity to some of the charges?
I don't know anything about the charges. I don't want to just guess.
Okay.
I'm just telling you that there's some guys in sports, the guys that came up the hard way, you never have a problem with. The guys that got in the easy way and made it, they see their egos get out of control. And Vince, I think, was always in the shadow of his dad. And when he got control, and the power he had and what he wanted to do, you got to give him credit. I mean, he had the balls to go out and do what he did. Mm-hmm. Go after everybody in everybody's territory. And it worked for him. But as a person, that incident really kind of gave me a whole different outlook on him. And just listening to him in the booking office and the way he talked to people and talked down to people, I wasn't brought up like that.
So would it be fair to say, Greg, that even though you don't know the charges, you can see Vince McMahon maybe doing this considering what you've experienced yourself?
I don't think he's Hulk Hogan once said, Vince will do anything.
All right. Well done, sir. And a great answer.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Greg, I really